Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Kami dari RHB, Kak.
RHB?
Encik cuma perlu cap jari dekat sini je.
Ayah nak keluarkan duit sebab sakit. Tapi dia tak larat. RHB, boleh tolong kami tak?
Bang, tak balik raya ke?
Kejap lagi. Salah apa ni?
Curi.
Curi apa?
Kotak pensel.
Nak saya tolong tak? Okey Puan, nama saya Zairil. Puan jangan takut. Saya dekat sini nak tolong Puan. Kenapa mencuri? Puan tahu tak, kes Puan ni boleh menyebabkan Puan dipenjara sampai 7 tahun maksima. Ya Arif, saya nak minta tambah masa sikit boleh?
Saya bagi awak masa sampai 3:30 petang sahaja.
Pukul 2:30 saya sampai. Dek, bilik guru kat mana?
Kat sana.
Cikgu? Cikgu Li kat mana? Cikgu Li? Ya. Cikgu Li, saya Zahril. Penggunaan Seksyen 294 Kanun Acara Jenayah. Yang Arif, saya percaya OKT telah pun mengaku bersalah. Jadi untuk hukuman Seksyen 380 yang membawa kepada maksima 7 tahun. Persoalannya sekarang, bolehkah kita pertimbangkan bahawa ini adalah kesalahan pertama bersalah? Ibu bapa mana yang tidak teruja bila anaknya mendapat keputusan yang cemerlang? Yang Arif, untuk kes ini, anak OKT telah mendapat nombor 1 di sekolahnya. Kenapa mencuri?
Saya mencuri untuk anak saya. Cantik. Why ya? Why so happy?
I got number 1 in school.
Number 1? Number 1 ah? Cantik number 1 ah?
Remember you promised me to buy a pencil case?
Ah, pencil case.
Janji seorang ibu kepada anaknya. Jadi mahu tak mahu, suka atau tak suka, mahkamah perlu pertimbangkan bahawa OKT telah melakukan kesalahan di atas keterpaksaan kerana beliau tidak sanggup menyakiti hati anaknya. Kadang-kadang kita tidak faham perkara yang kecil dan tak penting bagi kita sebenarnya adalah segala-galanya buat orang lain. Tapi ya Arif, biarpun pihak OKT dikenakan hukuman di bawah Seksyen 294, saya percaya masih ada bond-bond yang boleh dikenakan ke atas beliau. Bond yang ini saya cadangkan adalah bond berkelakuan baik, di mana pihak OKT perlu datang ke balai polis untuk mendandatangani bond di sana pada setiap bulan. Saya memohon dengan rendah diri tinggi harapan dan terus memohon sehingga Yang Arif membenarkan Seksyen 294. Sekali lagi saya dengan rendah diri, tinggi harapan memohon Seksyen 294. Saya ingat itu sahajalah kesudahannya.
Tuan Zahril, dah lama saya mencari Tuan. Saya masih ingat lagi ada seorang bijaksana pernah cakap, benda yang kecil dan tak penting untuk kita adalah segalanya untuk orang lain.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Kami dari RHB, Kak.
RHB?
Encik cuma perlu cap jari dekat sini je.
Ayah nak keluarkan duit sebab sakit. Tapi dia tak larat. RHB, boleh tolong kami tak?
Bang, tak balik raya ke?
Kejap lagi. Salah apa ni?
Curi.
Curi apa?
Kotak pensel.
Nak saya tolong tak? Okey Puan, nama saya Zairil. Puan jangan takut. Saya dekat sini nak tolong Puan. Kenapa mencuri? Puan tahu tak, kes Puan ni boleh menyebabkan Puan dipenjara sampai 7 tahun maksima. Saya nak minta tambah masa sikit boleh?
Saya bagi awak masa sampai 3:30 petang sahaja.
Pukul 2:30 saya sampai. Dek, bil guru kat mana?
Kat sana.
Cikgu? Cikgu Li kat mana? Cikgu Li? Ya, Cikgu Li, saya Zaharil. Penggunaan Seksyen 294 Kanun Acara Jenayah. Yang Arif, saya percaya OKT telah pun mengaku bersalah. Jadi untuk hukuman Seksyen 380 yang membawa kepada maksima 7 tahun. Persoalannya sekarang, bolehkah kita pertimbangkan bahawa ini adalah kesalahan pertama bersalah? Ibu bapa mana yang tidak teruja bila anaknya mendapat keputusan yang cemerlang? Yang Arif, untuk kes ini, anak OKT telah mendapat nombor 1 di sekolahnya. Kenapa mencuri?
Saya mencuri untuk ayah saya. Cantik. Why ya? Why so happy?
I got number 1 in school.
Number 1? Nampak warna? Cantik number warna.
Remember you promised me to buy a pencil case?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ahmad Badri Muhammad Zahir, the Chairman of the Board of Directors of RHB Bank Berhad. And on behalf of the Board, I welcome all of you to the 58th Annual General Meeting of RHB Bank. This is a virtual AGM held live from the broadcast venue located at Meeting Room Level 2, Tower 1, RHB Centre, Jalan Tun Razak, Kuala Lumpur. This year's AGM is again convened in a virtual manner through live streaming via the remote participation and electronic voting facilities. It is also our intention to continuously take advantage of the current technology advancements where access by the shareholders could be made more efficient and cost-effective. The convening of this virtual AGM is in compliance with the Section 327 of the Companies Act 2016, which stipulates that the chairman shall be at the main venue of the AGM, and also in accordance with the Clause 50 of the Company's Constitution, which allowed the AGM to be held at more than one venue using any instantaneous telecommunication devices that allow shareholders to participate in the AGM. This virtual AGM is also convened in accordance with the Security Commission Malaysia guidance and frequently asked questions on the conduct of the general meeting for listed issuers. Ladies and gentlemen, please be informed that the voting session has opened at the commencement of the meeting. Hence, shareholders may start registering their votes electronically until the conclusion of the voting session, which will be announced later. Before I proceed any further, I now call upon Encik Azman, the Company Secretary, to confirm whether we have a quorum to proceed with today's AGM.
Thank you, Yang Berhad Tan Sri Chairman. Yang Berhad Tan Sri Chairman, Directors, Shareholders of RHB Bank Berhad. I'm pleased to confirm that a total of 263 shareholders and proxies with a total of approximately 2.3 billion shares representing 54% of the total shareholdings, have logged into the RPEV facilities as at 9:25 a.m. today. Therefore, pursuant to clause 56 of the company's constitution, two members present in person or by proxy or corporate rep shall constitute a quorum for this general meeting. Hence, I'm pleased to confirm that we have a quorum to proceed with today's EGM. Yang Berhad Tan Sri.
Thank you, Jasman. As the Company Secretary has confirmed that we have the requisite quorum, I therefore declare the AGM as duly constituted. Here at the broadcast venue, on my right, Encik Muhammad Rashid Muhammad, the Group Managing Director of RHB Banking Group, and next to him is Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Ong Leong Huat alias Wong Jo Hua. On my left is the Group Company Secretary Encik Azman Shah Mat Yaman, and next to him is Ms. Ong Aileen, the Senior Independent Non-Executive Director. Also present here at the remaining directors are the remaining directors of the bank on the second row. Mr. Lim Chentek, Puan Hijah Arifah Osman, Puan Nazirah Abdul Rashid, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Muhammad Nasir Abdul Latif, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Ian John Long, and Mr. Donald Joshua Jagannathan. We also have the representative from our share registrar full administrator, that is boardroom share registrar, the independent scrutinous, Mrs. KPMG Management and Risk Consulting Sdn Berhad, and our external auditors, Mrs. PricewaterhouseCoopers PLT. Shareholders and proxies are invited to raise questions at any time during this AGM by submitting written question via the messaging window facilities as provided for the virtual meeting portal. And all questions relating to other administrative matters, such as requests for the integrated report and customer service, will be addressed by the virtual meeting administrator via the portal. The board will address questions related mainly to group performance and business and outlook during question and answer session at this AGM. Ladies and gentlemen, all questions received prior to this meeting, that is those from institutional shareholders, individual shareholders, and the minority shareholders watch group, as well as the answers thereto have been uploaded on the Lumi portal. Shareholders are encouraged to review the same so that there is no necessity to repeat them. And this will ensure the effectiveness of the meeting and minimize the time taken to answer all questions from shareholders before the shareholders proceed to vote on all resolution tabled. Ladies and gentlemen, the notice of the 58th AGM dated 5th April 2024 was announced to Bursa Malaysia Security Berhad and subsequently circulated to you either via registered email or postal addresses, as well as published in the local newspaper over and above the required statutory notice period in line with the governance best practices. And I'm sure that you have all read the notice, and with your permission, I shall take the notice as read. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to paragraph 8.29A of the main market listing requirement of Bursa Malaysia Security Berhad, RHB Bank, being a listed issuer, must ensure that the voting of each resolution set out in the notice for this AGM are conducted by way of electronic polling, or in short, e-polling. In this regard, I would like to exercise my right as the chairman of the meeting to demand for a poll in accordance with clause 60 of the company's constitution in respect of all resolutions which will be put to vote at this AGM. The company has appointed Boardroom Share Registrar as the pool administrator to conduct the voting by way of e-polling, and Messrs KPMG MRC as independent scrutineers to verify and validate the poll result. With that, let us proceed with the video presentation by the pool administrator for the e-polling process for everyone's benefit.
Dear shareholders, thank you for your participation at today's virtual meeting. On this virtual meeting platform, you will be able to view the live broadcast of the meeting proceedings, pose questions to the Board of Directors, and submit your votes in real time while the meeting is in progress. To view the live broadcast of the meeting, please click this broadcast icon. If you are participating in this meeting via a laptop or desktop, the live broadcast panel can be viewed side by side with the voting panel. To maximize the broadcast panel, please click here. Audio of the live broadcast will continue to play in the background, even during the voting process or when the broadcast panel is being minimized. Do adjust the volume control on your device for optimum audio output. Please click this arrow to return to the main meeting screen. You can minimize the broadcast panel by clicking this broadcast icon again. Should you encounter any issues with the broadcast view, please refresh the page by clicking this refresh icon. If you have any questions for the Board of Directors, you may raise them at any time before or during the meeting. To do so, please click on this messaging icon. Type your question within the chat box and click on this arrow to submit your question. A message will appear that your question has been received. To return to the main meeting screen, click on this icon. To view the resolutions for this meeting and submit your votes, please click on this voting icon. Once the voting has opened, the resolutions and voting options will be displayed. To vote, please select one of the available options, for or against. A confirmation message will appear to indicate that your vote has been received. To change your vote, please click on the other option. A confirmation message will appear to indicate that your new voting direction has been received. If you wish to cancel your vote, please click on Cancel. You may change your voting direction at any time before the chairman closes the voting session. Once the chairman announces that the voting session is closed, you will not be able to change your voting direction anymore. You may click on the broadcast icon to return to the live broadcast screen for the announcement of voting results. Should you require any assistance during the virtual meeting, please call Boardroom's help desk at 603-7890-4700 or email us at bsr.helpdesk@boardroomlimited.com. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the poll voting result and declaration of resolution will be shown on the screen after the independent scrutineers have verified the poll result upon closure of the e-voting session. And before I proceed with the agenda of the day, I now call upon Encik Muhammad Rashid to give a presentation on the financial performance highlight of the group. Encik Rashid.
Thank you so much, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to shareholders and board directors. Let me take you through the performance of RHB Banking Group as at 31st December 2023. Let me start with the snapshot of our performance. 2023, despite the challenging economic landscape and market environment, I think we remain resilient. You can see that for financial year 2023, our result continued our trajectory of resiliency. We maintain robust capital position and consistent dividend payout to reward shareholders. We look into sustaining our ESG momentum. We have done that. A couple of initiatives I will share with you shortly. From the customer's experience perspective, we also improve our customer experience from the Net Promoter Scores. The result of the net promoter scores for 2023 was plus 20, and we ranked second in the Malaysian banking industry. And we won Bronze Award at the Putra Brand Awards 2023 in banking, investment and insurance category. Okay, let me start with giving you some of the financial highlights for 2023. From the P&L perspective, our non-fund-based income up by 30.3% to 2.3 billion. This partially offsetting the impact of the lower net fund-based income will I share with you in more detail shortly. Our OPEX up slightly, 2.3% to 3.7 billion. We managed CIR at 47.5%. Our ECL lower by 28.4% to 301.5 million. Credit cost at 16 basis point versus 15 basis point last year. Our net profit Our net profit was up by 4.8% to 2.8 billion versus 2.7 billion in 2022. On the balance sheet side, asset and liability, our loans up 4.8%, attributed mainly to growth in Singapore group community banking, domestic loan growth of 3.4%, and we also saw a securities portfolio grew by 15.7%. Our deposit up by 7.9%. This is mainly due to FD, fixed deposit, by 14.3%, and CASA by 3%. Our CASA ratio as at end of the year last year stood at 27.9%. Our gross impact loan, GIL, manageable at 1.74. Our loan loss coverage, LLC, was at 71.7%. Our LLC with regulatory reserve remained healthy at 106.2%. From the capital perspective, our group CET1 ratio at 16.7 and TCR at 19.4%. We declared a second interim dividend of 25 cents per share, cash of 15 cents, and 10 cents electable portion under DRP scheme. Our full year dividend payout ratio for 2023 was at 61.6% and a dividend yield of 7.3%. We are committed to reward our shareholders with healthy dividend payout ratio with an attractive dividend yield. Just a bit of history. I mean, the group displayed improving dividend payout ratio post-pandemic. You can see that over the years, our dividend payout ratio has basically moved up from where we were at 50.1% in 2019 to above 60 in the year 2021, 22 and 23. Similarly, we can see an attractive dividend yield of between 6 to 7%. And as I mentioned earlier, we declared a second interim dividend of 25 cents per share, 50 cents cash and 10 cents subject to DRP. For 2023, dividend amounted to 40 cents per share, dividend payout ratio of 61.1% and dividend yield for the year at 7.3%. A bit details of the performance of RHB in 2023. From the total income perspective, you see a reduction of 4.8% from 8.16 billion to 7.77 billion. Our net fund-based income also reduced by 14.6% from 6.3 billion to 5.45 billion. However, our non-fund-based income increased by 30.3% from 1.78 in 2022 to 2.32 billion in 2023. Operating expenses grew 2.3% from 3.6 to 3.69. Allowance for credit losses on financial assets reduced by 28.4% from 0.42 to 0.3 billion. Our net profit to shareholders up by 4.8% from 2.68 billion to 2.81 billion for 2023. And our ROE is slightly less than the year before from 9.6 to 9.5% in 2023. This is just an explanation on the net fund-based income. You can see that because our net fund-based income, we saw a reduction that has impacted our NIM. We closed NIM for 22 at 2.24, and for the 2023, we were at 1.82, and you can see the breakdown up there. The fund-based income, there's fund-based income that's an incremental by 25.7%, but fund-based expenses, if you can see that fund-based expenses grew a lot higher from 4.97 to 8.81 by 77.3%. I think this is the fact that last year we experienced higher fixed deposit costs and higher expectation because due to expectation of higher interest rates as well. I think the cost escalated from both interest-bearing current account and also fixed deposit account. So our total net fund-based income reduced by 14.6%, like I mentioned earlier, to 5.45 billion for 2023. Our non-fund-based income, you can see that our non-fund-based income in total increased by 30.3%. We closed 2.3 billion as at 2023. The contribution from the non-fund-based income coming from two parts. The first is the fee income increase, but the treasury income was the main contributor to the higher non-fund-based income by 94.7%. We closed treasury income for the year at 1.19 billion. We saw some slight deterioration lower in terms of insurance underwriting surplus, and some other income also were affected, lower by about 59.4%. On the balance sheet side, on the growth in the gross loan side, we saw an incremental of 4.8%. Our loan grew by 4.8% in 2023 to 222.4 billion, of which you can see that group community banking contributed to increase of 5.8% at 140.9 billion. We saw a reduction in group wholesale banking from 50.7 to 49.1% by about 3.1%. And group international business, we saw incremental of 14.3% from 28.3 billion to 32.3 billion. From deposit from the deposit perspective, we saw a total deposit increase by 7.9% to 245 billion, of which this is where I alluded earlier to the higher fixed deposit incremental by 9.9% that also end up higher our fee-based expenses for the year 2023. CASA saw an increase of 3% from 66.4% to 68.4%. From the CASA ratio perspective, we are above 25% since 2019, because we saw a better CASA performance in 2021 and 2022, but 2023 were affected by a shift of our customer behavior from CASA to mostly FD fixed deposit. From the asset quality perspective, we were impacted, impairment in SME and overseas segment, but most of this with a good collateral coverage. That is also why our loan loss coverage with regulatory reserve remained above 100%. We were at 106.2%. Taking out the regulatory reserve, our LLC was at 71.7%. And if you look at our GIL ratio is at 1.74 with total of 3.88 billion impairment as at 31st December 2023. Our credit cost is elevated slightly from 2022 to 0.16%, pardon me, 16 basis points as at 31st December 2023. From the return on equity perspective, you can see that was slightly lower than the corresponding 2 years in 2021, 2022. We closed at 9.5% in 2023. Our cost to income ratio elevated. This is mainly coming from the revenue angle, top line revenue came down, I think, and also there's some costs that we incurred in 2023 that increased our cost income ratio to 47.5%. Our LLC, I mentioned that earlier, with the regulatory reserve is at 106.2%. Our group capital ratio remain healthy at whereas the CET1 capital ratio at 16.7% and total capital ratio at 19.4%. Let me just give a bit of update from the strategy angle. I think this, if shareholders may recall that 2 years ago, we came out with our TWP 24 strategy together with Progress 2024, anchor on the three main pillars objective of our strategy. We want to be everyone's primary bank, we want to prioritize customer experience, and we drive quality growth. So just a bit of update on those strategic objectives. We saw a retail loan increase by 6% compared to 2022. Similarly, for SME, mortgage, auto finance increased by 4.9%, 8.6%, and 7.8% respectively. We saw our Reflex customer, this is our corporate portal for our non-retail customers, increase number of customers by 11% compared to the year before, and our merchants also increased by 49% in 2023. In terms of prioritizing our customers' experience, we achieved strong digital channel penetration. 83% of our transactions are via digital channels. Online mortgage origination are over 40% via My Home app that we have seen and we have received in 2023. We enhanced customer digital experience. Our online banking customers grew to 2.5 million, about 44% higher compared to last year. And continuously, we upgrading our online banking features. Example that you can see, get a lot of, I will share with you a bit more. A lot of new features has been introduced in our online banking system. And we also focus more on accelerating our automation and system modernization. Pleased to share with you that 45% of our key processes have been automated, and 62% of our system are now modernized. From driving quality growth, our sustainable financial services progressing very well. We achieved more than 23.8 billion versus 20 billion target for 2026 as at end of 2023. Building on this momentum, I believe that you have also seen, we have make it public that we have revised our sustainable financial services target to 50 billion by 2026. We saw Islamic financing increase by 2.8% in 2022, and Islamic share slightly lower as compared to 2022 to 44.3% of the domestic financing that we have seen as at December 2023. Our Singapore loan increased by 17.5%. This is higher compared to the year before, and more than 300 million of our loans of green vehicle that we have registered in 2023. Okay, achievement, financial achievement, we achieved ROE, I've mentioned this, at 9.5, cost income ratio at 47.5, and we managed to achieve net promoter score plus 20 earlier, and being now we are in the top 2 in the domestic banking industry. In parallel, there's several key initiatives that we are currently doing. The group are undertaking several strategy initiatives, and I think most of you are well aware that there's a joint venture between RHB and Boost in launching a digital bank. I think Boost Bank, we have received the approval together with our partners from Bank Negara and MOF in January this year. And the digital bank is currently in alpha testing phase, and we will initially come out with a very basic product of saving accounts, and just with lending product to come online subsequently. We are also in talk on the Banca Assurance Partnership renewal. Current Banca partnership for conventional life insurance and family and general takaful is ending by December 2024 and July 2025 respectively. We have kick-started the evaluation process for our next long-term partnership with target to finalize by end of 2024. Education partnership remains our main focus as well. We shared with you last year and the year before on our partnership with Ministry of Higher Education, MOHI. We have onboarded, pleased to share with you, we have onboarded more than 600 students of public universities under MySiswa as at end 31st December 2023. This year, this will continue. We plan to expand further by establishing more partnership with other higher learning institutions. Sustainability agenda, we got it refined and we are more focused in increasing our sustainable financial services. I mentioned earlier that target has gone up to 50 billion by 2026. And we are on track to achieve our carbon neutral operation by 2030, and we are developing our pathway to achieve net zero by 2050. Digital enhancement, I'd like to share with you some of the progress and development that we have seen in the last perhaps 1 year. On the new RHB mobile banking and RHB online banking platform, we saw an up 44% incremental of customers using up to 2.5 million on our online banking. Penetration rate is 89% and 63% of our sales composition are generated via digital channel. We implemented features to combat online fraud. This is in line with in the industry movement. We have introduced kill switch feature, Secure Plus, authorized single device for secure transaction and authentication, and many others. My Home apps, I mentioned that earlier. I think we developed an ecosystem now. We expanded our My Home app by developing an ecosystem that offers a comprehensive range of services to guide ecosystem players such as home buyers and car purchasers. Also, this one thing we have made an announcement. We have expanded the offerings for our multi-currency Visa debit card. We added 16 new currencies into our multi-currency account. We are now supported 33 currencies. We are also being partners with in all the Mata Fairs. We have been appointed as an exclusive platinum sponsor for the Mata Fair for 2024. We had it in KL in March 2024 and in Penang in April 2024, just last month. SME banking segment, build sectorial expertise and expand our ecosystem. I think that's what we have done. We have enhanced our SME online financing, SME e-solution and iSmart solution for our SME customers. Wholesale banking, I think we also focus on transforming our digital channel to serve all banking and investment need. Couple of initiatives that we have done for our investment bank customers, like launching share margin financing for Singapore Exchange and Hang Seng Composite Index, automated the account opening process to robotic process automation to reduce turnaround time. Cambodia, we have launched eKYC and RHB Reflect. We continuously enhance our features enhancement that contributing to growth of more than 11% of our customers in 2023. On other digital solution, don't think I want to go into detail, but we have introduced Do It Now QR plug and Play Soundbox. If you heard, this kind of sound when you pay using through QR, I think that means that the merchants are using RHB as their as their merchant terminals. We are the first bank in Malaysia that launched this innovation, but I think subsequently there are a couple of other banks are following suit. We have introduced our EQMS, this is a queuing system at the branch, and we also digitized RHB beyond Malaysia. This is what I've mentioned, Singapore, Cambodia, key. We expanded our mobile banking capabilities in Singapore. 99% of our new accounts with 54% through MBK, mobile banking, and 45% via straight-through processing at branches. We launched in Singapore Pay Now Corporate in RHB Reflex, and in Cambodia we launched the GoWave mobile apps, and we currently have 12,000 account opening, and among the first bank that launched the most secure Cambodia shared switch CSS EMV chip card to combat counterfeiting. I will now perhaps give a bit of outlook. This is internally where do we see 2024 is going to. From the outlook, Malaysia GDP is expected to improve to 4.6% in 2024. This is compared to 3.7% what we have seen in 2023. Of course, we still remain cautious of some certain risks that remain. Mainly, this is the high interest rate environment in advanced economies, and also escalation of geopolitical conflicts. From the income and OPEX, our net fund-based income, OPR, is expected to be conducive and supportive. You just saw the announcement by Bank Negara yesterday, and OPR, the cap OPR at 3%. I think NIM expected to continue facing headwinds, but we are a lot of emphasis has been put in making sure that we stabilize our funding costs to optimize the best that we could, and via many measures, including our active liability management and discipline in pricing strategy. Our non-fund-based income, I think the focus is still growing fee income, especially in IB-related and asset management fee. We maintain strong cost discipline across the bank, but we'll continue to invest in IT and digital to drive innovation and efficiencies. Asset and liabilities, mortgage, auto finance, SME and Singapore remain the primary drivers for our loan growth. CASA will continue to be our key priority. Asset quality, we're going to sharpen our focus on asset quality management through disciplined monitoring of delinquencies, intensify recovery efforts as well. And we are going to balance the transparency and building up the LLC. Preserve liquidity strength and remain among the best capitalized bank. That's also our main objective, and we will try to do that in 2024. Consistent dividend payout to reward shareholders and maintain prudence in preparation of potential impact of new Basel III if there's any. With that, thank you so much for your time. That's the presentation for our performance in 2023. I shall now pass back the floor to Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri. Over to you, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri.
Thank you, Encik Muhammad Rashid. I shall now start the question and answer session. We have received questions from institutional shareholders, we have received questions from individual shareholders, and we have received questions from MSWG through various mediums and have collected the same and addressed the queries. And once again, I will now invite Encik Muhammad Rashid to highlight the question and answers which we received earlier, followed by live question received today.
Thank you so much again, Tan Sri. Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri, we received a letter issued by MSWG dated 3rd May 2024 with relevant queries pertaining to today's AGM, and all queries has been answered, and the responses were issued to MSWG on 9th May, which is yesterday, 2024. However, I will run through all the questions and share with the remaining shareholders. Let me go through question by question. The question one is more on our LLC in general. I think the concern question is more of the drop of our LLC loan loss coverage from 71% to 112, pardon me, for 112 to 71%. And let me take on there's several questions on that. Let me take on one by one. Okay, I would like to emphasize that LLC with regulatory reserve should be used to assess the adequacy of overall provision for our asset, including loans, as our regulatory reserve are set aside in capital. LLC with reg reserve or regulatory reserve are above 100%. That's indicating we have at least one time coverage for our impaired loan. And of course, moving forward, the group intend to sharpen our asset quality management and potentially increase LLC in foreseeable future, pursuant to our initiative in managing asset quality. We continue to exercise prudence in our lending policy, where the focus has always been on secured and highly collateralized financing. And I also would like to share, in addition to this, that partly the reduction of our LLC is also due to highly collateralized accounts that has gone impaired that doesn't require any provision but is being impaired. I think that's also one of the contribution to why our LLC was lowered last year. The next, this is again a question on LLC. This is as reflected in the Age Weekly report. We are committed, partly also our commitment to assist our customers in difficult time, and the successful restructuring and rescheduling plan with the customers will improve the relevant ratios, including LLC and also GIL. I think this will continue. I think we will reviewing most of the customers that require further assistance from the earlier assistance that we have given. That will continue be done by our team. Due to uncertainties in such R&R or restructuring and rescheduling plan, we are unable to comments on the completion time, because this is ongoing process and depending on the individual client position and situation as well. Size of corporate loan with regards to, in relation to LLC, the corporate borrowers mentioned in the report are operating in Malaysia. They are mainly coming from transportation and construction segment. And with regard to the impairment of this loan, the affected borrower's business was severely impacted by COVID-19 pandemic, which resulted in the tight cash flow and thus unable to meet their loan repayment. This is again, I want to mention that the bank, RHB, will continue working with these borrowers and try to restructure and reschedule further their loan repayment during the pandemic to ease the burden. This is during the pandemic, and continuously coming out of pandemic, we'll continue to look at this to ease the burden of loan repayment and prior to the loan being impaired. Again, this is relating to LLC. Again, the group will continue to focus on maintaining credit discipline and intensify effort in recovery and collection. Nevertheless, we will continue to facilitate the vulnerable borrowers and monitor their repayment behavior. I mentioned to you earlier, I mean, this is on the optimal, coming from the question. Prior to pandemic, the group LLC was at 85.7%. You see higher LLC in 2020 and 2023. That's mainly due to additional provision that was set aside as a preemptive provision to cater for potential adverse impact of COVID-19, which is, we call it management overlay. In 2023, we have reversed all the COVID-related management overlay. That's also one of the contributing factor to our reduction in our LLC. Moving forward, the group intends to sharpen our asset quality management and potentially increase LLC in foreseeable future. Credit costs, I think we continue our prudent in our lending policy as an indication, and we remain cautious of external factors such as, again, uncertainty in the US monetary policy, inflationary pressures, and also escalation of geopolitical conflict. Our guidance that we have shared earlier, credit cost guidance is between 20 basis point to 25 basis point. Next question is more on the what they have seen in the loss before tax that we have incurred from our overseas business, in particular Thailand. Question on Thailand. Let me take the question. Deterioration of asset quality in Thailand has arisen from a combination of various factors. This is one of it is downside risk of the SME segment stemming from a high interest rate environment and the sluggish economy in the country as well. Most of the repayment assistance program in our portfolio had expired. This is back to what I mentioned earlier in terms of R&R. And notably, the larger corporate thrived and weathered through the hard times. However, there are certain segments, which is SME segment, many of these borrowers continue to struggle, and some to the extent of defaulting and becoming non-performing. Question on whether it's collateralized. There's a mixture of collateralized and non-collateralized loan. We expect recovery to take several years. I think this due to expected lengthy recovery process in certain countries in the region. Which overseas market will pose greatest challenges for 2024? This is, if you look at the Fitch rating as well, I think Thai banking sector's impact loan ratio to remain stressed in 2024 and 2025. We believe that this will continue. I mean, the fact that the recovery of the regional countries is not in tandem across all the countries. We see some of the countries recovered slower than some of other countries, and furthermore, the macroeconomics risks remain high in Cambodia. I think beside Thai, Cambodia is also another country that where we see a little bit risk remain macroeconomic risk there in the view of economic high external dependency on China. Next question is about our JV with Axiata Group on the Boost Bank. Let me take you through the answers. The question is whether where are we as compared to our competitors, GX Bank. As the digital banks are still early in the launch phase, GX Bank is very similar to us. Boost Bank has started out by getting the basic things right. We are building the foundation and we are getting all the operational readiness right, and we are setting up a stable mobile app and offering simple financial product such as savings account at the beginning. Both of us, I believe, I can't comment much on our competitor, but I believe that we are in a similar start, and we are also part of the wider ecosystem. As such, we'll be able to leverage on existing e-wallet customers to build up their initial deposit base. How many users? Like I mentioned earlier, I think the Boost Bank has completed its alpha testing phase. We involve approximately 500 testers from Boost Bank, RHB and Axiata employees. As part of ensuring Boost Bank is ready for public launch, testers were asked to try various apps features, particularly around account opening, in-app function and key securities features. Feedback gathered were used to improve and enhance customer journeys prior to public launch. We will be announced very soon, inshallah. Our Boost Bank primary focus is to ensure that the apps function seamlessly and securely for our customers, coupled with Boost Bank ecosystem proposition and expertise in serving the micro SME segment. This will form a natural competitive advantage in the digital bank landscape. Okay, this should be the third question from MSWG. This is with regard to ESG sensitive sectors. It's quite quite technical question, so pardon me, my answers also will be quite technical on this. Okay, the first question is with regard to our non-retail customers. I'm pleased to share with you almost all of our non-retail customers are classified as low or medium ESG risk, as we have put in place internal policy and tools to manage our ESG risk. Customers that falls under high ESG risk, I think in RHB, we classified them as an exceptional credit. Nevertheless, our exposure to high ESG risk is not material, it's less than 1%. Okay, this is in terms of mobilization of over 23.8 billion that we have announced recently. As at December 2023, we achieved 23.8 billion in sustainable financial services, of which 48% of this is in green, social 26%, and ESG linked 26%. The 48% of the green category includes financing of low carbon projects and activities. This is include the transition. We term it as the transition finance. This is such as renewable energy, energy efficiency, climate change adaptation, and clean transportation, which is equivalent to approximately 2.6 billion of RHB green asset and 0.4% of the group's total outstanding loan portfolio. This is where I'll go a bit technical, bear that with me. This is with regard to the GCAP. We have enhanced our GCAP and our ESG risk assessment tool to include sector-level questionnaires, and this enables us to conduct both qualitative and quantitative assessment on our customers based on ESG risk from the 10 high-impact sectors. Assessment covers categories such as clients, biodiversity, water management policy, GHG emissions, energy consumption, water utilization, etc., which are also aligned with the BNM's climate change principle and taxonomy, CCPT, and due diligence questionnaire, DDQ. If you want to read more details, please refer to our sustainability report on from page 48 to 52. I think the details are all there. Extension to that question is we have completed the finance emission baseline based on our position as at 31st December 2022. We did not provide general information such as the size. Let me run through with you. RHB's size of financing and investment represented in 2022 finance emission baseline is equivalent to 255 billion, which is about 60% of our total financing exposure of the five high-impact sectors. RHB in financial year 2022, our finance emission intensity is 36.3. The group has made a conscious decision for emission intensity that is to be tracked and monitored internally for the purpose of decision making in ensuring that we meet our group finance emission reduction target and achieve our decarbonization strategy. And from the group asset classes, average data quality is 4.3. RHB finance emission calculation methodology is based on the Partnership for Carbon Accounting Financials PCAF methodology, which is currently widely accepted and industry standard for calculation of finance emission. The PCAF standard includes a data quality scale from 1 to 5. We are at 4.31. Of course, this is what we are continuously looking at, improving our data quality so that we can achieve a better scores moving forward. Climate-related data for the purpose of calculating finance emission, such as under the framework of PCAF, involve several challenges. I mentioned this earlier. This is due to complexity and variability of climate-related data as well, being it's not just basing on our internal data and also external data that we have to depend on. Some notable challenges, I think the availability of data, quality, sectoral differences, and methodologies issues. The group is taking appropriate step to address these challenges and to effectively calculate and manage our financing mission, such as improving data collection and reporting, assessing advanced tool and technology, as well as enhancing client and stakeholder engagement. Question on, I think this is one of our board directors' question about not attending some of the sustainability-related matters. Let me assure you, Tan Sri Ong is a valued member of board of RHB Banking Group and no stranger to sustainability matters as well. Tan Sri Ong holds the Capital Market and Services Rep license and was also previously a member of Security Market Consultative Panel for Bursa Malaysia. The board always recognise Tan Sri Ong's contribution and the rest of the board members as well on sustainability matters. In fact, just to share with the shareholders that Tan Sri Ong has been actively involved in many internal presentations. This lengthy discussion that we had, an informative session, usually took place during the board meetings and are part and parcel of the board meeting agenda. And just like this is all some of the list of program that Tan Sri Ong and the rest of the board members have attended, and I can assure you that Tan Sri Ong has also attended several board directors meeting. I think this is in relation to RHB's sustainable financial services commitment and net zero strategy and decarbonisation pathway. And with regard to training was mentioned earlier, Tan Sri Ong has registered for upcoming mandatory accreditation program Part 2 Leading for Impact LIP to be held, which is just next week, 13 and 14 May, which focus on sustainability agenda. With that, I have concluded the question that we received from MSWG. We continuously valued all the input. Action will be taken in some of the questions raised, and will update the shareholders from time to time. Let me now, Tan Sri Chairman, let me now take the pre-AGM question that we have received earlier by the shareholders and also specifically by PNB. Let me run through some of the questions by PNB first. This is question 1 by PNB with regard to strategic objective. This is in what we have shared on our TWP 24 of achieving ROE 11.5 by 2024. In response to that, you know that we are guiding the market by achieving more than 10% by end of this year, but we are keeping our target. We will and make sure that we exercise what we can do and looking at the performance. The group for financial year 2023 financial performance was primarily impacted by higher funding costs and allowances for expected credit losses. This was unexpected by us when we formulated our TWP 24 strategy. Despite not seeing any changes in the OPR height by central bank, you can see that funding costs get escalated. It is in response to higher expectation of interest rate in the international market, specifically from the Fed. I think that's caused why the derail of our target of 11.5. But again, like I mentioned, we'll keep the target and we'll update the guidance of 10%. We will try to deliver as high as we can and nearing to our original target. Again, this is reiterating the what I've highlighted earlier. Higher funding costs was attributed to intense deposit competition, and consequently, the NIM for the year contracted to 1.82. What I like to share with the shareholders as well, I think this is what we have seen across the industry. We also has set aside higher ECL for selected overseas operation, although the impact was mitigated by COVID overlay write-back that we have seen in 2023. For 2024, Group remains cautiously optimistic, but expected performance to improve by net interest income expected to improve as we foresee competition for deposit to continue to moderate, providing some respite from further NIM compression. Non-interest income continue to be our focus. We hope to with better fee income expected. We have seen this in the last couple of months, and pocket of opportunity to grow treasury income as well. And overhead will continue to maintain our cost discipline and manage our costs efficiently and effectively. For balance sheet, we continue to grow our asset in our target segment while maintaining our credit discipline. We remain prudent by continuing to manage asset quality closely, maintain strong fundamentals through robust capital and liquidity position. We remain cautious of the external factors that's surrounding us, especially the uncertainties in the US monetary policy stance, inflationary pressures, and also on the geopolitical conflicts that's happening currently. Part of the question, I think I've mentioned that on the guidance of ROE, we remain cautious again on all the external factors that we will be facing in 2024. Next question is on the profitability of our group treasury bond market before tax. Let me address that question. Question is more of how do we see this coming into 2024. Despite elevated market challenges, GTGM has performed better than previous year in terms of revenue and PBT year to date. And the focus of the team is on customer centricity and improve trading and investment performance, navigating higher market and credit risk opportunity. And we are closely managing our cost of funding effectively. This is also at the back of active liability management that I've shared with you earlier. GTGM is expected to continue registering strong financial performance for the remainder of 2024, and from reinforced customer centricity and with some emphasizing on the bespoke product and solution for customers to navigate market challenges effectively and efficiently, and ensuring discipline in funding, trading, and investment activities. All right, next question is on the Islamic financing that grew to 2.8%, lower compared to group's loan growth of 4.8%. Let me take up the series of this sub-question under this. Okay, we have RHB Islamic had a few government of Malaysia Islamic asset and financing. These were redeemed in 2023 via Sukuk market due to revised strategy to tap Sukuk market for more competitive pricing. So the reduction of our percentage of Islamic is mainly coming from the repayment that have taken place. And going forward, the Islamic banking unit is already working with several corporate clients to selectively grow the bank's footprint regionally and globally via Islamic financing, and also to have deeper penetration of targeted local industries where the bank can provide holistic financing solution to our corporate client. RHB Group remain committed to increase Islamic share of the group financing. That's it's on top of our in our agenda. Although we saw a slight dip in 2023 from 44.6 to 44.3. This is, I think, on the long-term improvement. We saw a long-term improvement from where we were in 2021 and 2022. But for the financial year 2024, we target to achieve more than 45% of our domestic financing from our Islamic business, with a medium to long-term target of more than 50% share. This is with regards to the higher impairment that we have seen in Thailand. I would think that this is in relation to the question that I've addressed earlier. Deterioration of asset quality in Thailand has also from a combination of factors, again like downside risk of the SME segment from coming from high interest rate environment, and also the sluggish economy surrounding those countries. Most of the repayment assistance program in our portfolio had expired. Notably, the larger corporates thrived and weathered through this hard time. However, I must say that some of the SME customers of ours in this segment, borrowers continued to struggle, and some to the extent of defaulting and fall into our non-performing loan category. We expect the GL to remain elevated due to lengthening process of recovery. This is also in line with Fitch rating. Expect Thai banking sector's impact loan ratio to remain stressed in 2024 and 2025, and we are monitoring and managing this closely within the team and within the group in RHB. Immediate action, of course, optimizing the costs, encouraging higher utilization by high-quality borrowers of our corporate and non-banking financial institution segment, and we will improve governance and supervision through reorganized operating model of Thailand control. This is not just Thailand, across our overseas function, and increased resourcing for control function. And we also created additional headcount for recovery and legal team so that we can be more efficient and we can be more focused. Longer term action, including repositioning Thailand as a regional outpost for corporate and SE client by providing cross-border services and referral. And we are collaborating and leveraging on our RHB Securities Thailand and build a cross-border treasury team. We are currently prioritizing to accelerate our Singapore loan and deposit base with a focus to grow in all business segments. Continuation of the PNB question. This is on IT spend. We spend approximately 10% of our IT on cyber securities by moving customers to online banking channel as well as automating key branch processes. RHB has seen annual cost avoidance of approximately 60 to 100 million each year. RHB digital banking platform serve almost 90% now of all transactions and constantly enhance to improve the everyday banking experience for our customers. The focus moving forward is to be able to anticipate customers' need and provide valuable recommendation and products relevant to their lifestyle as they occur. Okay, that's the end of PNB question. We also have received some pre-AGM question earlier. This is from our shareholders. First, coming from shareholders Teh Kian Lang. Will 24 be better than 23? Malaysia economy is expected to improve in 2024. Again, the downside risk, we are cognizant of that. High interest rate environment and recent escalation of geopolitical conflict. We remain vigilant on the outlook for the rest of the year, but committed to deliver growth in 2024 by continuing grow asset responsibly and maintaining credit discipline, focus more on asset quality and growing asset on the more on the collateralized and collateralized side. Remaining prudent by continuing manage asset quality, like I mentioned earlier, maintaining strong fundamentals through robust capital and liquidity position. Next question, Loh Pek Yu. This is with regards to, I believe this is on our Tokyo Marine arrangement on Banca arrangement. I've shared this earlier. The bank is currently in the midst of renewal process to determine the best partner that can provide market-leading proposition for our customers. Ong Han Cheng question, how big is the risk of digital bank compared to normal banking system? We see the risk of digital bank being low relative to overall banking system. I mean, you are aware that BNM licensing framework caps each digital bank asset of 3 billion. This is during the foundational phase, which is 3 to 5 years of operation. As comparison to the total asset of 5 digital banks of 15 billion will constitute less than 0.5% of the total bank asset. Currently stood at about 3.5 billion in Malaysia. Nevertheless, we will ensure that Bush Bank is governed by strong risk management framework, which include our robust cyber security and digital fraud countermeasures to ensure the utmost safety and reliability for our customers. Question by Sun Cheong Yao. This is LLC. I believe I've responded this earlier. We are monitoring this. I think the improvement of LLC can also be seen once some of those accounts will be out from the R&R, and also we'll continuously review and look at monitoring our LLC position. Kau Li Shi, this is more of a long-term strategy. What would company do for implement e-wallet? Our long-term strategy centered around our mobile banking, MBK and IBK, to deliver customer experience, drive quality growth. It is our commitment to continuously enhance and improve our digital bank offerings, such as Duit Now QR, request to pay, and access of the 32 foreign currencies through our award-winning multi-currency account product. We'll continue to invest in the digital space to address ever-changing market trends and customer preferences, and that is evidenced by 8.6 million additional investment in Bush Bank as our commitment towards greater financial inclusion in Malaysia. For 2024, group remain cautiously optimistic. Profitability will come from net interest income. We expected an improvement, and similarly also non-interest income. We foresee a better fee income opportunities from IB and also Treasury. From balance sheet perspective, we'll continue to grow asset in our target segment while maintaining our credit discipline. I think I've repeated this many times, but yes, remain prudent by continuing to manage asset quality and maintain strong fundamental through robust capital and liquidity position. Question from Wong Wing Wah. This is with regard to Bush Bank. When Bush Bank is expecting to launch to public in the near future, we will make the announcement soon. I think we have completed our alpha testing. We have set aside a significant investment to provide Bush Bank the best chance of success. We projected at least 3 to 5 years before digital bank breaks even, and we view this as our long-term investment targeted towards sustainable growth. Question for Teh Zen Kiat. How RHB Bank increase profit in the future? Of course, continuously we'll invest in our digital infrastructure. Like I said, Bush Bank is we see this as a complementary to what we are doing internally. We are also investing in our own digital infrastructure and product and ensuring that we remain at the forefront of in competing against new market entrants. In addition, I think we'll continue to strengthen our focus on our service excellence. I think you have seen this in many of my presentation, my team presentation. Service excellence is key. We put customers at the forefront, and we see this as a key differentiator in winning and maintaining the trust of our customers, and ultimately allowing us to gain market share in the future. Question. This is series of question, very similar question. In terms of whether we can maintain our current dividend yield from Chai Ya Chung, Cheong Mun Ye, Lee Chin Chiang, Alan Pang Yin Jin, and Pong Kok Leong. This is in relation to dividend. The group, I've shared earlier, I think over the last couple of years we have seen improving trend of dividend payout ratio post-pandemic with consistent payout ratio of above 50% and attractive dividend yield between 6 to 7%. Given our resilient financial performance and strong capital position, we were able to maintain dividend payout ratio of above 50% for 2023 with 61.1% dividend payout ratio. Moving forward, of course, we do well. We want to reward our shareholders. We'll continue to reward our shareholders, aiming for at least 50% cash dividend payout while optimizing our capital utilization to gain better returns. That's our clear intention to reward our shareholders fairly moving forward. Question from Chiu Hon Mun. This is in relation to CET1, our capital position. As at 17 April, prior to adjustment, our share price has improved to 5.72, representing 3-year CAGR of 9%. This is in line with the improvement in KLCI and KL Fin Index of 3-year CAGR of 1.4 and 10.6 respectively. RHB, we remain committed to reward our shareholders with a healthy dividend payout consistently above 50% with an attractive dividend since post-pandemic at a yield of 6 to 7%. Teh Zen Kiat, your question on dividend declared 4 times. Unfortunately, the group has consistently rewarding our shareholders with 2 dividend payout per year, interim and second interim or final dividends. We will remain committed to reward these shareholders again with a healthy dividend payout ratio. Reinvestment plan, I believe that the detail of that is there. If you can download, because it's quite lengthy, so I thought that we'll guide you through as to how you can download a soft copy of our DRP statement via the link as per what we shared with all of you here. Question from T. Yi Lam, dividend reinvestment plan, or whether the bank can absorb 10 ringgit revenue stamp. Unfortunately, on behalf of the bank, I think RHB will not bear the stamp duty, as it shall be payable by the shareholders, being the person whom first signed, execute the agreement and notice of election. And by the way, effective 1st Jan 2024, the Inland Revenue has terminated the usage of revenue stamp as a stamping method at all Inland Revenue Board Malaysia stamping duty counters and district stamp offices. That's for your information. Question from Ramraj Sivajanam. This is a question on share prices again, between 5 to 6 ringgit per unit. May I kindly inquire what's a new project? Okay, on share prices, share price, for your information, RHB Bank Berhad assumed the listing status. Just a bit of background I want to share with all the shareholders. From RHB Capital Berhad in 2016, with share price upon completion of listing at 4.84%. Prior to the pandemic, our share price improved to about 5.7 to 5.8 ringgit per share. However, during the pandemic, the share dropped to as low as 4.23. I think this you can see across all the equity performance of in the KL listed stock exchange. Our share price has since improved, consistent with the global economy recovery. I've shared this earlier. As at 17 April, our shares improved to 5.72 cent, representing CAGR of 9%, and this is in line with improvement in KLCI and KL Fin Index of 1.4 and 10.6% respectively. I mentioned earlier our dividend payout has also improved from 50 to more than 60% the last couple of years. Outlook, we expect group performance to improve in tandem with GDP growth. We'll continue our strategic execution. This is a final year for all of us to execute our TWP 24 strategy, and committed to deliver growth and preserve our strong fundamental by, again, growing asset, prudent in managing asset quality, and maintain our robust capital and liquidity position. Question from Yap Fung Chung, non-online conventional. Thank you for your feedback. We'll consider the possibility of conducting hybrid meeting in the future once we are assured with the technology needed to support the seamless. Once we are assured with the technology needed to support seamless and stable and secure large-scale meeting in hybrid mode. In the meantime, we'll continue the virtual mode. But like I said, thanks for your feedback. We will revisit this. Thank you. Question from Yo Wee Po. This is investment bank. With regard to investment bank, whether why trading on odd lots, we are enhancing this. This is in progress and targeted to be available in RHB trading share by end of May, inshallah. That's soon. That's by end of this month. Question from Chu Hun Moon. This is with regards to Boost Bank. Don't think I want to repeat this. I've shared this earlier. This is in regards to what we have committed with our JV partners on Boost Bank. But just want to highlight on to the shareholders that Boost Bank has a unique proposition as it is part of Boost ecosystem. I mean, I'm sure that all of you are aware. And it's also backed by a consortium consisting of strong shareholders. As such, Boost Bank will be able to leverage on existing combined expertise and customer ecosystem of Axiata and RHB to differentiate ourselves against our peers. Public launch, just wait for it. I think it's going to happen soon. We will launch a market-leading product offering as well as attractive promotion rates will be announced in due course along with the public rollout. A question from Lee Chiu Fong, Yap Fong Chung, Sim Ju Lei, Yo Kim Tun. This is with regard to let me take all those questions. Dog give. Let me take all this question. Okay, first and for all, I think I would like to just share with you and for the board directors who are attending here, they are not being paid fees. We don't pay fees for attending the AGM meetings, and we will not be very unfortunate. I think I take on your comments. We will not be providing any dog gift for this year again, and this approach is consistent with some of other conglomerates and FI that moving towards a more substantive rewards to shareholders. We hope to give you more dividends, and with better performance, I'm sure that we will be able to reward you in another way. The group, like I said, recently declared a second interim dividend of 25 cents. I hope you appreciate that, and will continue looking at this. And I understand the sentiment. I apologize for that. We are not able to do so, but we will continue reassess the need to provide dog gift as appropriate in due course. With that, I've answered all the question from what we have received earlier. Now I'm going to continue taking live question from our shareholders. Allow me, Transfer Chair. Okay, first question, live question is coming from Sia Cheng Long. This is with regards to Boost Bank, digital bank version of RHB. What's the preventive measure for app stability? I think I've shared this earlier, but I want to reiterate that Boost Bank is a partnership between RHB and Boost, RHB and Axiata. We always see this as a complementary addition to our strategy, and so that we will serve across all segments that currently underserved and not served by us at the bank level. Boost Bank is going to be an independent bank. Focus will be more on underserved and unserved that will run with their own boards, management and technology team. Like all banks in Malaysia, it is governed by Bank Negara and will adhere to strict guidelines and requirements for service stability, security and performance. Next question coming from Fung Siu Chui. This is in item 8. There was search on working capital. This increase in impaired loan from working capital is due to impairment of a borrower from the transportation segment. The question about what segment is that does mainly come from? It came from transportation segment. Question from Teh Kian Lang. Any M&A plans in the next? The answer is no. We don't have plans for any M&A mergers and acquisition, as our focus is to continue to be an organic growth. Like I said, when we develop our TWP24 center, it's more looking at how we grow organically. We will continuously evaluate opportunities and assess. And of course, if there's any, it's only fair for us to be bring it up to the shareholders and will be guided towards creating value of our shareholders. I think that's key. I think the key is more of providing and creating value for our shareholders. How much? Oh, it's the salary of me, I guess. You wanted to know what's our salary payout. So you may refer to the financial report that is on note 41. And question from that's Fong Siu Chiu. And Lee Chi Yang, will RHB remain the same dividend payout? I think we believe in balancing return, balancing return to shareholders and investment to support the future growth. So we aim to maintain our dividend guidance at minimum of 30%. But however, I've mentioned this earlier. We have a target to pay at least 50% of dividend payout. Is similar to the highest pre-pandemic payout ratio in cash in 2029. For 2023, this one I think we have shared with you earlier, 25% second interim dividend that we have shared. Question from Tung Kaizu. Any planned approach to increase ROE following the operating metrics have deteriorated? Yes, CASA ratio further drop from 29. I think what we want to do in 2023, yes, we take note of that. That in 2023 is mainly because of the migration of CASA to FD. I'm sure that all of us, shareholders included, you guys, we all benefited from higher FD rates in 2023. So all we've seen the trend of moving CASA to FD. GIL increase are mainly due to SMEs and overseas operation. I want to assure you the recently turned impaired accounts are highly collateralized or guaranteed. That's what I can share with you. The CIR increased due to lower total income and higher personal and IT costs for 2023. Next question is from Chua Song Yun. This is ROE 9.5 in 2023 target. Okay, the group guidance for ROE at least for 10% in 2024, higher than at least 10%, and we are targeting higher. But we are hopeful. We are seeing some improvement in in what we have seen the couple of months. So we will expect the improvement to continue, and we hope to deliver better than 10%. Question from Lok Yun Ho. Bearing unforeseen circumstances, dividend payout ratio maintained, ladies mentioned earlier. Dividend payout guidance still at minimum 30%. We'll try to aim at paying 50% dividend payout, and I think we will. Of course, this is subject to board and all the regulatory approval. Question from Eng Ahlik on CET1 ratio 60.7%. We acknowledge, we know that our capital ratio are the highest among the banking group. However, we take cognizance of the challenges in the operating environment. We want to remain prudent and preserve our strong fundamental in weathering a tough time ahead. We also want to continue to be among the best capitalized bank in Malaysia. Question from Chong Lim. Which country that RHB has business? give the big breakdown from the revenue in percentage. Okay, RHB have present in Singapore, Cambodia, Thailand, Brunei, and Laos, with total revenue contribution of 12.9% to the group. And Singapore is our highest contributor. For 2023, Singapore contributed to more than 80% of the total group international business revenue. We are all spread in various sectors with no concentration in any particular sectors. Question from Tan Seng King. What's the bank's policy action plan in ensuring the independency of the independent director? The board has adopted a policy where independent non-executive directors may be reappointed for a new term provided that such service tenure does not exceed consecutive or cumulative terms of 9 years. The computation of the service tenure will commence from the date of his or her appointment in the group. At present, barring any unforeseen circumstances, the board does not intend to retain any independent non-executive directors beyond 9 years tenure limit. Question from Lau Kung Hu. Average credit risk weight recorded a deterioration year-on-year 0.4 to 34.3%. Movement in the average credit risk for last year by 0.4 is not a deterioration of a risk weight movement commensurate to our RHB expectation. I think it's not deterioration of risk weight movement. Chua Song Yun, gross loan grew 4.8%, seems to be lower. In 2023, loan growth was primarily driven by mortgage, auto finance, SME and Singapore. However, large repayment has impacted the growth for corporate segment in 2023. Nevertheless, we have always taken a balanced approach in growing our asset by maintaining credit discipline and balance sheet strength. For 2024, we expect loan growth to be more than 4.5%. This is in line with improving domestic growth, a GDP of 4.6%, and forecast growth for 2024 as compared to 3.7% in 2023. Question from Lau Kung Ho. Group international business facing challenges. Yes, deterioration of asset quality in some of the frontier countries are from a combination factors. Actually, it's various sectors. I've mentioned this earlier. SME segment, I think they are expiring of their repayment assistance program, and coupled with high interest rate environment, some of these are not able to withstand. And specifically, if you ask me, in addition to the tourism and hospitality sector, is still experiencing a slow recovery post-COVID. We have seen this everywhere. Like I said earlier, some of the growth in the recovery in the countries within the region are slower than some. So this creates some imbalances between the growth within the region. Lau Kung Ho, a question on repayment assistance that has ticked down to 2.4%. Repayment assistance is a normal cost of doing business, and during COVID time, it's just it's normal cost of doing business, and during COVID time is an extraordinary event. I think it's during the COVID time is a specific emphasis was given for the RA. Now it has been normalized back to usual. So what you have seen, repayment assistance and R&R is back to the normal. We just need to address some of those who are coming out of COVID repayment assistance that needs further assistance. RHB RA loans continues to reduce, and as at March, our RA loans is less than 1% of the total outstanding credit facilities. Question from Seng Chong Ho. How interest rate cut affect RHB business? The monetary policy is expected to remain conducive and supportive of the economy. Bank Negara yesterday held the OPR at 3%. The group has a good combination. We have a good combination of mix of asset classes that could maximize the impact of the interest rate movement to the bottom line, which we expect any movement of the interest rate would have an impact to the bottom line. It is should be very minimal as the bank have variety fixed and float asset. So in a nutshell, I think we are managing our exposure from looking at the environment where interest rate is high and interest rate is low via our internal tools as well. Fung Siu Chui question, shareholders are kept in the dark of company. Okay, I believe that as a shareholders, we have endorsed a multi-year business plan of Boost Bank with our partners, shareholders Boost Bank, which is Axiata Group subsidiary. The Boost Bank management team continues to execute against the endorsed business plan, and shareholders' capital injection thus far have been in line with the business plan. Global and regional observation typically digital bank targeting a path to profitability across 4 to 6 year horizon. Like I mentioned earlier, I think for us, we believe that 3-5 years is where we are looking at for the digital bank, our digital bank ventures to be in black. Achieving a path to profitability is also a required milestone in order for Boost Bank to exit the foundational phase defined by Bank Negara as part of the licensing framework for digital bank. Question from Winston Yo. Is NIM 1.77% achieved? NIM stood at 1.82 for 2023 compared with 2.24 due to higher funding costs. This is I mentioned earlier. For 2024, net interest income is expected to improve. We foresee competition for depositors to stabilize, to moderate, and providing some leeway for us to further improve our NIM compression. We expect NIM to improve to the range of 1.8 to 1.9 for 2024. Question from Annie Key. Why is RHB price lagging? I believe we have shared this earlier. I think 549 on 9 May. Prior to exit on 18 April, share price was at 572, representing 3-year CAGR of 9% in line with KLCI and KLFin indexes. We'll continue with the strategic execution of our TWP24 and share with the shareholders and with the analysts as to how we're going to deliver the growth and of course, preserve our strong fundamental. Question from Ng Itzi. Director fees allowance in general. Director fees and allowance are not correlated to the dividend payout. Their fees and allowance are regularly reviewed internally and with the assistance from external consultant to ensure relevancy and in line with the market practice. The board with assistance from the board nomination and remuneration committee will assess the performance and compensation of all the directors. All the directors' remuneration package will be tabled before the shareholders during AGM for approval. Question from Tan Sek King. Now with the e-wallet getting comments, especially in China, what's the bank plans to compete? RHB remain committed to improve the functionality and performance of our mobile banking apps to provide seamless experience for our customers. In addition, we also continuously enhancing our multi-currency account, which you have heard that before. Customers are now allowed to hold and transact more than up to 33 currencies on top of Malaysian ringgit using their debit card. Question from Lok Yun Ho. Reach out to RHB customer service and the matter, but they are unable to respond constructively. I'm unhappy. Currently, on all the refunds, refunds is defaulted to ringgit account as stated in our term and condition. However, we take note of this feedback. We like this kind of feedback, and it will continuously reflect and assess the feedback and improve accordingly. And we'll look into the feasibility of allowing refund in same foreign currency to improve your experience moving forward. Nevertheless, we hope you continue to use our account actively. due to very attractive conversion rate and also interest, also returns. Question from Hugh Chi Kyong. Any plans AI? Any plan more on AI automation to cut down costs? This continued use, continuation using analytics, artificial intelligence, AI, and more recently generative AI capabilities is a clear focus area and priority of RHB. Analytics use cases are always explored in the area on the revenue uplift. We continuously do this and try to automate and reduce operational costs. This has been focus of our TWP24 as part of our accelerating advanced analytics and as well as modernizing our IT and introducing a smart automation program. We also see significant value. Actually, if you ask me, we see significant value in using analytics, AI, and generative AI tools to increase service quality and productivity of our workforce, and we'll continue to prioritize such investment moving forward. Question from Koh Chui Peng. Indonesia with huge emerging middle class will be attractive market. We already have a presence in Indonesia via our PT RHB Sekuritas Indonesia. Currently, regional opportunities in Indonesia are looked at by our Singapore teams via our regional corporate and investment banking model. So what I'm saying is that some opportunity in Indonesia and other part of the regional countries that we don't have present in are being looked at our Singapore team and also our HQ team here in Malaysia. Any expansion in business in Indonesia we'll need to consider the best interests of our shareholders. Question from Chong Yuan Sun. The group has consistently rewarded shareholders with 2 dividend payout. I think this is about a bonus issue. We don't have any immediate plan for bonus issue at this juncture, but our commitment remains. We will reward our shareholders with healthy dividend payout. Stay with us. I'm sure that we will reward all our shareholders fairly, and if you do more, of course, we can give up more. With that, I believe that's the last question that I have received from the live portal. Would like to pass the floor back to Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri. Thank you so much, and thank you shareholders for your kind question. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Encik Rashid. If there are questions which have yet to be answered or required extensive clarity, we will accordingly respond to the respective shareholders via email. And with that, the question and answer session is now closed. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now proceed with the agenda at hand. The first item on the agenda is to receive the audited financial statement of the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2023, together with the directors and auditors report thereon. Ladies and gentlemen, the audited financial statement, together with the directors and auditors report thereon for the financial year ended 31st December 2023, have accordingly been issued to you together with the notice convening this AGM. I presume that you have had the opportunity to peruse through the respective report. In accordance with the section 340 subsection 1 subsection A of the Companies Act 2016, the audited financial statement together with the directors and auditors report are now laid before the meeting. As the formal approval of the shareholders is not required for this agenda item, the matter is not put forward for voting. Before we move to the next agenda item, I wish to put on record that the audited financial statement of the company and matters related thereto have been duly presented to the shareholders and proxies during the presentation of the financial performance of the group. Issues relating thereto were duly highlighted by the Group MD and extensively discussed during the question and answer session. And with that, we shall proceed with the next agenda too. Pursuant to the Clause 94 of the company's constitution, 1/3 of the director shall retire every year and are eligible for re-election. The profile of all retiring directors can be found in the Integrated Report 2023, mainly between pages 134 and 143. As I'm standing for the re-election under Ordinary Resolution 1, I will have to recuse myself and pass the chair to Ms. Ong Eileen, being the Senior Independent Director, to preside over the said resolution.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Chairman. Under Ordinary Resolution 1, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Ahmad Badri Muhammad Zahir shall retire pursuant to Clause 94 of the company's constitution and being eligible has offered himself for re-election. With that, I shall now hand the chair back to Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Ahmad Badri.
Thank you, Ms. Ong. We shall now proceed to Ordinary Resolution 2, i.e. re-election of Yang Berbahagia Dato' Ian John Loh pursuant to Clause 94 of the company's constitution. Yang Berbahagia Dato' Ian John Loh shall retire pursuant to Clause 94 of the company's constitution and being eligible has offered himself for the re-election under Ordinary Resolution 2. Ordinary Resolution 3. Mr. Lim Chem Teck shall retire pursuant to Clause 94 of the company's constitution and being eligible has offered himself for re-election under Ordinary Resolution 3. Ordinary Resolution 4, Puan Hajjah Arifah Osman was appointed on the board of RHB Bank on 1st June 2023, and she shall retire pursuant to Clause 98 of the company's constitution on filling a casual vacancy and being eligible has offered herself for re-election under Ordinary Resolution 4. Ordinary Resolution 5. Similarly, Puan Nazira Abdul Rashid was appointed on 15 March 2024 to fill in a casual vacancy. She shall then retire pursuant to Clause 98 of the company's constitution and being eligible has offered herself for re-election under Ordinary Resolution 5. Ordinary Resolution 6. The following item on the agenda is the payment of directors' fees and board committees' allowances to the non-executive director for the period from the 58 AGM to the 59 AGM of the company. The fee structure proposed under this resolution is the same fee structure approved by the shareholders at the AGM held last year on the 10 May 2023. In other words, there is no increase to the fee has been proposed this year. The detail could be found on page 214 of the Integrated Report 2023. Ordinary Resolution 7. Ordinary Resolution 7 is in relation to the payment of directors' remuneration, excluding director fee and board committees allowance, to the non-executive director for the period from the 58 AGM to the 59 AGM of the company. The remuneration referred to under this resolution included, among other, meeting attendance allowances, farewell port scheme, the director's liability insurance coverage, electronic devices, and technology peripheral for use during meetings. In determining the estimated total amount of remuneration, which is excluding director fees and board committees allowances, for the non-executive director, the board consider various factors, particularly the numbers of meetings, i.e. scheduled and unscheduled, for the board and the board committee, as well as the number of non-executive directors involved in this meeting, which form a major part thereof. The remuneration formula could be found on page 214 and 215 of the Integrated Report 2023. Ordinary Resolution 8. We shall now proceed with the next item on the agenda of today's meeting. Ordinary Resolution 8 is on the reappointment of Mrs. PricewaterhouseCoopers PLT as auditor of the companies to hold office until the conclusion of the next 59 AGM of the companies at a remuneration to be determined by the directors. The Board Audit Committee, at its meeting held on 18 January 2024, conducted its annual assessment on Mrs. PricewaterhouseCoopers in accordance with the Bank Negara Guidelines on External Auditors. The assessment covered a wide spectrum of matters such as performance, suitability, independence and objectivity of the external auditors based on the qualifying criteria for the appointment of auditors and term of audit engagement. Having satisfied itself with their performance and fulfillment of criteria as set out in Bank Negara's guideline on external auditors, the BAC recommended the reappointment of Mrs. PricewaterhouseCoopers as the external auditor of the company for the financial year ending 31st December 2024. The board, at its meeting held on 26 January 2024, approved the BAC's recommendation for the shareholders' approval at the 58th AGM of the company under Ordinary Resolution 8. Ladies and gentlemen, our retiring auditors, Mrs. PricewaterhouseCoopers, has expressed their willingness to continue office as auditors of the company. Hence, the board is also seeking the shareholders' approval to authorize the director to fix the remuneration of the external auditors for the financial year ending 31st December 2024. Ordinary Resolution 9. Ladies and gentlemen, Ordinary Resolution 9 is to renew the general mandate to the directors of the company to issue ordinary shares of the company from time to time pursuant to Section 75 and 76 of the Companies Act 2016. The resolution, if passed, will give power to the directors of the company to issue ordinary shares in the capital of the company, provided that the aggregate amount of shares issued pursuant to this resolution does not exceed 10% of the total numbers of issued shares of the company for the time being, without having to convene a general meeting. The general mandate, unless revoked or varied at the general meeting, will expire at the conclusion of the next AGM of the company. The general mandate will enable the directors to take swift action in case of, inter alia, a need to corporate exercises or in the event that the business opportunity or other circumstances arise which involve the issue of new shares, and to avoid delay and unnecessarily cost in the convening of general meeting to approve such issues of shares. Ordinary Resolution 10. We now proceed to the next item on the agenda, that is the allotment and issuance of new ordinary shares in the company pursuant to the dividend reinvestment plan. The proposed Ordinary Resolution 10, if passed, will give authority to the directors to allot and issue new RHB bank shares pursuant to the dividend reinvestment plan in respect of dividend declared after this AGM to the benefit of the shareholders, and such authority shall expire at the conclusion of the next AGM of the company. Ladies and gentlemen, we have dealt with all the items on the agenda, and let me just ask Encik Azman, are there any other matters for consideration at this AGM?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have not received any notice of any other business to be transacted at this AGM. Thank you, Tan Sri.
Thank you, Encik Azman. Ladies and gentlemen, as all our resolutions have been tabled and there is no other business to be transacted, we shall now proceed with the conclusion of the voting session. Please cast your vote before the poll is closed in 10 minutes' time. For the benefit of shareholders, I wish to inform that I have also been appointed to act as a proxy for a number of shareholders, and I shall vote in accordance with the instruction given.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Kami dari RHB, Kak.
RHB?
Encik cuma perlu cap jari dekat sini je.
Ayah nak keluarkan duit sebab sakit. Tapi dia tak larat. RHB, boleh tolong kami tak?
Bang, tak balik raya ke?
Kejap lagi. Salah apa ni?
Curi.
Curi apa?
Kotak pensel.
Nak saya tolong tak? Okey Puan, nama saya Zahiril. Puan jangan takut. Saya dekat sini nak tolong Puan. Kenapa mencuri? Puan tahu tak, kes Puan ni boleh menyebabkan Puan dipenjara sampai 7 tahun maksima. Ya Arif, saya nak minta tambah masa sikit boleh?
Saya bagi awak masa sampai 3:30 petang sahaja.
Pukul 2:30 saya sampai. Dek, bilik guru kat mana?
Kat sana.
Cikgu? Cikgu Li kat mana? Cikgu Li? Ya, Cikgu Li, saya Zahril. Penggunaan Seksyen 294 Kanun Acara Jenayah. Yang Arif, saya percaya OKT telah pun mengaku bersalah. Jadi untuk hukuman Seksyen 380 yang membawa kepada maksima 7 tahun. Persoalannya sekarang, bolehkah kita pertimbangkan bahawa ini adalah kesalahan pertama bersalah? Ibu bapa mana yang tidak teruja bila anaknya mendapat keputusan yang cemerlang? Yang Arif, untuk kes ini, anak OKT telah mendapat nombor 1 di sekolahnya. Kenapa mencuri?
Saya mencuri untuk ayah saya.
Cantik. Why ya? Why so happy?
I got number 1 in school.
kes.
Janji seorang ibu kepada anaknya. Jadi mahu tak mahu, suka atau tak suka, mahkamah perlu pertimbangkan bahawa OKT telah melakukan kesalahan di atas keterpaksaan kerana beliau tidak sanggup menyakiti hati anaknya. Kadang-kadang kita tidak faham perkara yang kecil dan tak penting bagi kita sebenarnya adalah segala-galanya buat orang lain. Tapi ya Arif, biarpun pihak OKT dikenakan hukuman di bawah Seksyen 294, saya percaya masih ada bond-bond yang boleh dikenakan ke atas beliau. Bond yang ingin saya cadangkan adalah bond berkelakuan baik, di mana pihak OKT perlu datang ke balai polis untuk menandatangani bond di sana pada setiap bulan. Saya memohon dengan rendah diri, tinggi harapan dan terus memohon sehingga Yang Arif membenarkan Seksyen 294. Sekali lagi saya dengan rendah diri, tinggi harapan memohon Seksyen 294. Saya ingat itu sahajalah kesudahannya.
Tuan Zahril, dah lama saya mencari Tuan. Saya masih ingat lagi ada seorang bijaksana pernah cakap, benda yang kecil dan tak penting untuk kita adalah segalanya untuk orang lain.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Kami dari RHB, Kak.
RHB?
Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now close the poll voting. The poll administrator will then proceed to count the voting and thereafter to be verified by the independent scrutineers. Hence, I will now adjourn the AGM for approximately 50 minutes for this purpose.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Kami dari RHB, Kak.
RHB?
Encik cuma perlu cap jari dekat sini je.
Ayah nak keluarkan duit sebab sakit. Tapi dia tak larat. RHB, boleh tolong kami tak?
Bang, tak balik raya ke?
Kejap lagi. Salah apa ni?
Curi.
Curi apa?
Kau tak pensel.
Nak saya tolong tak? Okey Puan, nama saya Zahiril. Puan jangan takut. Saya dekat sini nak tolong Puan. Kenapa mencuri? Puan tahu tak, kes Puan ni boleh menyebabkan Puan dipenjara sampai 7 tahun maksima. Ya Arif, saya nak minta tambah masa sikit boleh?
Saya bagi awak masa sampai 3:30 petang sahaja.
Pukul 2:30 saya sampai. Dek, bilik guru kat mana?
Kat sana.
Cikgu? Cikgu Li kat mana? Cikgu Li? Ya, Cikgu Li. Saya Zahril. Penggunaan Seksyen 294 Kanun Acara Jenayah. Yang Arif, saya percaya OKT telah pun mengaku bersalah. Jadi untuk hukuman Seksyen 380 yang membawa kepada maksima 7 tahun. Persoalannya sekarang, bolehkah kita pertimbangkan bahawa ini adalah kesalahan pertama bersalah? Ibu bapa mana yang tidak teruja bila anaknya mendapat keputusan yang cemerlang? Yang Arif, untuk kes ini, anak OKT telah mendapat nombor 1 di sekolahnya. Kenapa mencuri?
Saya mencuri untuk ayah saya.
Cantik. Why ya? Why so happy?
I got number 1 in school.
seorang ibu kepada anaknya. Jadi mahu tak mahu, suka atau tak suka, mahkamah perlu pertimbangkan bahawa OKT telah melakukan kesalahan di atas keterpaksaan kerana beliau tidak sanggup menyakiti hati anaknya. Kadang-kadang kita tidak faham perkara yang kecil dan tak penting bagi kita sebenarnya adalah segala-galanya buat orang lain. Tapi Ya Arif, biarpun pihak OKT dikenakan hukuman di bawah Seksyen 294, saya percaya masih ada bond-bond yang boleh dikenakan ke atas beliau. Bond yang ingin saya cadangkan adalah bond berkelakuan baik, di mana pihak OKT perlu datang ke balai polis untuk mendandatangani bond di sana pada setiap bulan. Saya memohon dengan rendah diri, tinggi harapan dan terus memohon sehingga Yang Arif membenarkan Seksyen 294. Sekali lagi saya dengan rendah diri, tinggi harapan memohon Seksyen 294. Saya ingat itu sahajalah kesudahannya.
Tuan Zahril, dah lama saya mencari Tuan. Saya masih ingat lagi ada seorang bijaksana pernah cakap, benda yang kecil dan tak penting untuk kita adalah segalanya untuk orang lain.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Kami dari RHB, Kak.
RHB?
Encik cuma perlu cap jari dekat sini je.
Ayah nak keluarkan duit sebab sakit. Tapi dia tak larat. RHB, boleh tolong kami tak?
Bang, tak balik raya ke?
Kejap lagi. Salah apa ni?
Curi.
Curi apa?
Kau tak pensel.
Nak saya tolong tak? Okey Puan, nama saya Zairil. Puan jangan takut. Saya dekat sini nak tolong Puan. Kenapa mencuri? Puan tahu tak, kes Puan ni boleh menyebabkan Puan dipenjara sampai 7 tahun maksima. Ya Arif, saya nak minta tambah masa sikit boleh?
Saya bagi awak masa sampai 3:30 petang sahaja.
Pukul 2:30 saya sampai. Dek, bilik guru kat mana?
Kat sana.
Cikgu? Cikgu Li kat mana? Cikgu Li? Ya, Cikgu Li, saya Zahril. Penggunaan Seksyen 294 Kanun Acara Jenayah. Yang Arif, saya percaya OKT telah pun mengaku bersalah. Jadi untuk hukuman Seksyen 380 yang membawa kepada maksima 7 tahun. Persoalannya sekarang, bolehkah kita pertimbangkan bahawa ini adalah kesalahan pertama bersalah? Ibu bapa mana yang tidak teruja bila anaknya mendapat keputusan yang cemerlang? Yang Arif, untuk kes ini, anak OKT telah mendapat nombor 1 di sekolahnya. Kenapa mencuri?
Saya mencuri untuk ayah saya.
Cantik. Why ya? Why so happy?
I got number 1 in school.
Number 1? Number 1 ah? Cantik number 1 ah?
Remember you promised me to buy a pencil case?
Ah, pencil case.
Janji seorang ibu kepada anaknya. Jadi mahu tak mahu, suka atau tak suka, mahkamah perlu pertimbangkan bahawa OKT telah melakukan kesalahan di atas keterpaksaan kerana beliau tidak sanggup menyakiti hati anaknya. Kadang-kadang kita tidak faham perkara yang kecil dan tak penting bagi kita sebenarnya adalah segala-galanya buat orang lain. Tapi ya Arif, biarpun pihak OKT dikenakan hukuman di bawah Seksyen 294, saya percaya masih ada bond-bond yang boleh dikenakan ke atas beliau. Bond yang ini saya cadangkan adalah bond berkelakuan baik, di mana pihak OKT perlu datang ke balai polis untuk mendandatangani bond di sana pada setiap bulan. Saya memohon dengan rendah diri, tinggi harapan dan terus memohon sehingga Yang Arif membenarkan Seksyen 294. Sekali lagi, saya dengan rendah diri, tinggi harapan, memohon Seksyen 294.
Ladies and gentlemen, the independent scrutineers has verified the poll result. Let us resume the AGM for announcement of the poll result. For ordinary resolution 1 to 10, the numbers of shares or percentages voted in favour of the resolution and voted against the resolution are displayed on the screen. Consequently, I declare ordinary resolution 1 to 10 carried. Ladies and gentlemen, as the AGM has now come to the end, on behalf of the board and management, I would like to thank all the shareholders for your